What's good, everybody? Here's your boy, O'Shea Duke Jackson, back at it again with another episode of the Celebrity Junk. Today I want to have a conversation about alpha male, black leadership, black male productivity. And for some of you guys out there that are watching my video, or listening to this, we come from a culture where women determine a lot of things. And because women determine a lot of things, masculinity is determined by the things that women like. It could be good looks, it could be charisma, it could be all of the things that don't lead to infrastructure or long-standing networks or value addition in a certain economy or in a certain community, right? And so you see guys like Dr. Umar Johnson. Dr. Umar Johnson is the epitome of what a woman stereotypically would find attractive. He's intelligent, he talks good, and that's all that you have to do. And if you look at black men, even in the days of the South, coming out of slavery, most black men wanted to do? They wanted to become preachers. Right? They wanted to get leadership. They wanted to be big in the church because running their mouth was what got them in. And now in today's time, you're seeing more guys wanting to get into like the rap music, and you want to see guys getting into things like that. And as I'm getting older, the more specialized you are at something, it's more evident how much of a competitive advantage that you have. Older guys understand this. You get 40, 45, 35, you realize it's too late. You know, so many guys want to do the get rich quick schemes and all of this. And the reason that you see a lot of guys in our community behind is because there's a lack of specialization. Because black men are still trying to live to the stereotype that appeals to the majority of the stereotypical African American woman. And again, I'm not saying that all of them feel like this, but I think that it's quite common, right? Let me just tell you guys something. Black men can be an alpha male without the approval of women. In the dating terminology that we have this, misnomer here, that, in order for you to be accepted, the alpha male is the one that gets all the ladies. That's completely wrong. The alpha male is determined by other men. And I think that we forget that. We are so busy trying to impress women all the time and to live up to their standards, we forget about impressing the guys that actually give us the best chance to develop, which is other men. If you go to a prison, there's an alpha male in that prison. Women are not there to determine that. Okay? Amongst male animals, the men battle it out to find out who is the guy that leads the group. Okay? And I believe that what we have done in our lack of understanding this, we have been chasing a false narrative that doesn't lead to anything. It doesn't lead to any businesses. It doesn't lead to any specialization of talent. It doesn't lead to any specialization of skill sets. And you keep seeing our men fall, down and down and down. We're actually, some of our guys are really regressing. Some are doing better. And that is because men determine the leaders amongst the group. Men determine the skill sets amongst the group. Black men determine the standards amongst the group. And at a certain point, for our guys to develop, black women have to be left out of the conversation. And when I'm doing things on a daily basis, or I'm bouncing ideas off with SPK or Dima or whoever else, the conversation about black women is not important at all. I don't care about who's a single mom and who's whatever. I'm focused on what I can do to move the business to the next level. I'm focused on who I can contact to move myself to the next level. Let it be Antoine Wade, or if it's Erica Williams, or if it's George Macon, or if it's people that I know that have something that I need to have access to in the future, Kevin Samuels, we're all doing this because we want to be in the industry, want to excel ourselves. And we are determining our path based on our own efforts. And from there, you see who's going to land where in the group. And I believe that black men, once you start to know this and understand that a lot of your black men that you know, many of them are not your enemy. We make each other our enemy in order to be power hungry and to chase women. We just only want, to get rid of this guy or get him off the block so that we can have more access to his women. Which is really stupid because there's so many women out in the world that you can't get them all. It's so much money in the world, you can't get them all. I was talking to SB Head about it just earlier today. So man, there's so much money in what we're trying to do, I can't get it all. You can ask Kevin Samuels. Anytime you have infrastructure and there's a demand for what you're trying to achieve, there is no amount of money that you can't reach. But you can't get those accesses without knowing people, without having connections to people. And see, we as a group of black men, we need to add value to each other more. It's not enough anymore to guys to say, okay, well, we're black men and we all have a problem with single moms. That's not enough to move us forward. We are all black men, and we're tired of the Pookies and Rares. That's something we can agree on. It's not enough to move us forward. What moves us forward is mutual interest in me knowing you. How does it help develop your life? Are we adding value to the African American man's everyday life? It's either a yes or no question. If that answer is yes, now you have a reason that you want to be my brother. You have a reason why that you want to work with me. You have a reason why that you want to be my friend, or you want to actually, because you benefit from what I'm doing. I benefit from what you're doing. Now the friendship can be even stronger. Now, if I like you, it goes more a long ways. But now, if we're just sitting around talking about nothing, and there's no development, then we're wasting our times. Okay? And once black men start to understand that you are the ones that bring businesses, and I always talk about it, you are the ones that bring development to wherever you go. If they were to drop us off right now in Africa, give us 1,000 acres, 10,000 acres of land in the country, who's responsible for developing that economy? Who's responsible for developing that? Not the women. You're responsible for doing that, right? You're always responsible for what you do. Okay? And the men are the ones that open the door for everybody else. Once we understand that, then we understand our power. Now we understand that, okay, if we're civil and there's no corruption between the brotherhood, that we're always gonna have a friend. I don't need to teach you out anything because it's too much money out there for me not to teach you for. What's the reason? My integrity is going to be the most important. And that's where black men need to be. That's where we need to be looking at this thing. And women don't determine that. Women don't determine how black masculinity should be defined. They don't determine that. Who's cool and who's not cool. You determine that. Because they'll tell you all day, we don't determine who they are and who's wife material, even though, that is a bit debatable. But no, women don't determine nothing amongst black men. You determine that. And once you start to understand that, you'll determine who is a wife, who gets the ring, who gets the business, because the men build all that infrastructure. But you can't do it out there by yourself. Many of you black men out there, you guys are antisocial. Some of you guys have met me out in Africa. I'm a real social guy. When you see me outside, I talk to you. Some of you guys are shocked. Damn, man, this dude is really cool. Some of y'all met me in Europe. Some of y'all met me in the States. Anybody who's met me can vouch for it. And if there's an opportunity to take things forward, we can do that. But if you're out to yourself thinking that you know you don't need nobody, nobody needs you, you're gonna fail. You gotta get into the network and offer value to black men and give them a reason to be your brother, because you have something to offer people. But guys, what do you think? It's your boy, O'Shea Duke Jackson, back at it again with another episode of The Celebrity Jump. I really appreciate you for all that you do. Subscribe, hit the bell, check out the first comment at the top, and as you know, the buffoonery remains all time high. I'm out.